Black teen removed from first class 5 minutes later. Her CEO dad grounds the entire flight. What does it take for the truth to break through the noise of prejudice? In the crowded terminal of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, 16-year-old Maya Jackson stood at the heart of a storm she didn't start. Her first-class boarding pass, crisp in her hand, was more than a ticket. It was a promise of a moment's comfort after years of proving herself in a world quick to judge. But as she stepped toward the gate, a flight attendant's sharp voice cut through the hum of the crowd. "Miss, you're in the wrong line. Economy boards last." The attendant's eyes narrowed, her tone clipped, as if Maya's presence in first class was an error to be corrected. Heads turned. Whispers rippled. Maya's heart pounded, but her voice stayed steady. "This is my ticket. First class." She held it up, her fingers trembling slightly. The attendant scoffed, snatching the pass, her lips curling as she scanned it. "This doesn't look right. Step aside." The terminal felt smaller, the air thicker, as Maya stood her ground. She was no stranger to these moments, the sidelong glances, the assumptions that clung to her like shadows. Growing up Black in a world that often saw her skin before her story, she'd learned to carry herself with quiet strength. But this wasn't just about her. It was about every person who'd been dismissed, diminished, or displaced because of who they were. "Check it again," she said, her voice firm now, eyes locked on the attendants. The crowd grew silent, phones raised, capturing the tension. The attendant's face flushed. "I don't need to check anything. Move, or I'll call security." Maya didn't budge. She thought of her father, Marcus Jackson, a man who'd risen from nothing to become CEO of a major airline. This airline. He'd taught her to stand tall, to speak truth, even when it shook the room. But he wasn't here now, and Maya felt the weight of every stare pressing against her. Minutes ticked by, each one stretching the moment taut. The attendant radioed for security, her voice sharp with authority. Two guards approached, their hands resting on their belts, their faces unreadable. Maya's stomach twisted, but she refused to let fear show. "I belong here," she said, loud enough for the crowd to hear. "You're making a mistake." A murmur ran through the onlookers, some skeptical, some sympathetic. A woman in a business suit whispered to her companion, "She's just a kid. Why are they doing this?" Then, a new voice cut through the din, deep, commanding. It silenced the terminal. "What's going on here?" Marcus Jackson stepped forward, his tailored suit and calm authority parting the crowd like a wave. Maya's heart leapt, but she kept her composure. The attendant froze, her confidence wavering as she recognized the man whose name was synonymous with the airline's success. "Sir, this girl claims she's in first class, but..." "Claims?" Marcus's voice was low, dangerous. He took the boarding pass from the attendant's hand, glanced at it, then fixed her with a stare that could ground a fleet. "This is my daughter. Her ticket is valid. What's your claim for humiliating her in front of all these people?" The terminal was a vacuum, every breath held. The attendant stammered, her face paling. "You didn't know, sir. I thought..." Marcus raised a hand, cutting her off. "You thought wrong." He turned to the gate agent, his voice steady but unyielding. "This flight doesn't move until I say so. Nobody boards until this is addressed." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Phones were still recording, now capturing a different story. Marcus knelt beside Maya, his eyes soft but fierce. "You okay?" She nodded, her throat tight. "I'm fine, Dad. I wanted to be treated like everyone else." His jaw clenched, and he stood, addressing the crowd. "This isn't just about my daughter. It's about every person who's been judged before they're known. This stops now." He turned to the attendant, who was visibly shrinking. "You assume she didn't belong because of how she looks. That's not a mistake, it's a choice. And choices have consequences." He pulled out his phone, dialed, and spoke with quiet authority. "Ground the flight. All flights. We're having a company-wide meeting. Now." The gate agent's eyes widened. "Sir, that's 100 planes, thousands of passengers." Marcus didn't blink. "Do it." Within minutes, announcements echoed across the airport, then the country. Flights were halted, screens flashing delays. Social media exploded, the video of Maya's stand going viral. Hashtags like Justice for Maya trended as passengers shared their own stories of bias. In the terminal, Marcus addressed the crowd, his voice carrying the weight of years spent fighting for respect. "This airline was built on fairness. My daughter deserves it. You all deserve it. We're not moving until we get this right. He called for an immediate review of staff training, vowing to root out bias at every level. The attendant, now silent, was escorted away for a discussion with HR. Maya watched her father, pride swelling in her chest. She'd faced the sting of prejudice before, but this time, it wasn't just her fight. It was a reckoning. As the crowd began to applaud, some tentatively, others with fervor, Maya felt a shift. She wasn't just a girl in the wrong line, she was a spark, igniting change. Hours later, as the airline announced new policies and the flight finally boarded, Maya took her seat in first class. The same attendant, now humbled, avoided her gaze. A passenger leaned over, an older black woman with kind eyes. "You did good, sweetheart. You made us all seen." Maya smiled, her heart full. The plane took off. Carrying more than passengers, it carried a promise of accountability, of a world where no one would be grounded by the color of their skin. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.